Today on Awakening with Amy, the teachings of Neville Goddard unpacked. Stick around. Hi, welcome. I'm Amy Valentine, certified life coach, hoping to awaken within you a mindset that you can be, do, and have whatever your heart desires. So today I want to talk about the great late teacher, Neville Goddard. I first learned about him via Dr. Wayne Dyer. If anybody ever read The Power of Intention or any of Wayne Dyer's work, he talks a lot about Neville Goddard actually being his inspiration. And I just recently, maybe in the past year or two, have gotten into Neville. I have all his books. He lectured, he wrote books back in the 50s and the 60s. And his teachings are so profound. And really, if you can wrap your brain around it, it's kind of a minefield when you actually get into it. And here is why. What is the basic teaching of all of Neville's work is that he says that consciousness is the one and only reality. That consciousness is the first cause of everything we experience in the outer world. So what is he saying? He's saying our inner world, our imagination, is what is actually creating what we experience out there. So the inner world, our imagination, think about it. We were taught the other way. We were taught, well, the outer world is what's real, and we were told to downplay our imagination as kids, right? Think about it. Stop daydreaming. And, your first 7-8 years of your life, you're literally living in your imagination more of the time. And it gets knocked out of us. And I really think, that this is all by design. I really believe that we come here knowing our power, but we have to forget it. It's like we have to have amnesia to have some life experience, right? Otherwise, we'd stay in non-physical energy and we wouldn't bang around this earth school, so to speak, right? So Neville Goddard really, that's the basis and of it, all his teachings, that consciousness is the one and only cause of reality. And what we're seeing with our five senses was first held within our imagination. So again, it is a little bit of, you kind of have to keep an open mind about this because these teachings are so powerful. And when you start to activate them within your life and act on them, everything starts to shift. So he says that every state of consciousness is available to us. Kind of look at it like a radio, that when you tune to a certain station, that's the station you hear. But all the other stations are available to you, but you have to tune to a certain frequency to hear that station. He's saying the same thing, that all states of consciousness, another way to say that would be like our mood or our attitude, that underlying feeling behind our words, our thoughts, and our deeds is our consciousness, what we're awake to being in any moment. So how we feel, how we think about ourselves is our consciousness. What we believe to be true, what we assume to be true about ourselves in relation to the world, to others, and the material world is what we act on. It's how we behave. It's how we make our decisions. So all those assumptions mainly were handed to us by our life experience from childhood. And we're here now to awaken to our power as creators. And he says when we rise in consciousness is just acknowledging that there is a higher consciousness. Once we accept that, we don't try to make it happen. We allow the former states, the lower states that were born out of fear, wither away. So whatever you're conscious of being in any moment is what's creating your life experience. The assumptions that you hold or beliefs you hold about everything in your life, it's essentially every story you're telling yourself. It's your money story, your relationship story, your physical body story, etc., etc. Every story that we're telling ourselves, we're telling it within our imagination. So let that sink in. Because why? Because when you allow that to sink in, now you have the power to resurrect any state of consciousness that you want. You want more money? I know I do. I'm resurrecting that within myself, right? And letting the former states wither away. That's expansion, right? You're letting yourself rise and awaken to an other version of you. And it's all available right now. Everything is right now. And Neville likes to say, don't look back, because looking back is recreating those past experiences. So when you do look back, look from it from a higher state of consciousness by thanking the former states for giving birth to the new versions of you. So Neville Goddard, just a little bit of his teachings, that consciousness is the one and only reality. It's the first cause, and all the outside things we can, feel, taste, hear, touch, and sense are all the effects. So you leave the effects be what they are, you thank them, you have gratitude for this awareness, and you go within to your imagination and you feel, what would it feel like to have that higher consciousness? And with thanks and gratitude, you in advance, you'll start to feel differently. That's the first manifestation. You'll feel better for no reason. And then you'll start to notice all these little synchronicities. Let me tell you a quick story about synchronicities. The other day, I was sitting here, my girlfriend was over, we were sharing a bottle of wine, and as we're talking, I saw this great blue heron fly up and over the house. And I started freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was, whatever. We were talking about that. And she was like, oh my God, what do you think that means? And then I swear to God, the bottle of wine that I had opened and that we were drinking, I picked it up and there was a great blue heron on that bottle. What's my point? My point is everything is literally right in front of us. And when we awaken to the synchronicities and we awaken our power within us, we resurrect the higher versions. We go to our imagination and we can do and have anything in our imagination first, and then it must get pushed out and experienced in reality. Neville Goddard 101, and I'll be doing more Neville Goddard teachings and upcoming videos. So please like and share this so we can get this message out so you can have and be more of what you truly desire. Thank you and have a great day.